Norman, go get my roster off the table in there. Go get my roster off the table in there.
How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing good.
That's good. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Thank you. Good to see
Welcome
you too.
back, y'all, to the Coach Jones Show. I'm Adam Bell for Charlton Sportsnet, along with Indians football head coach Demario Jones. What's happening?
Not much.
Big win Friday night, Coach.
Yes, it was.
32-12. Y'all come out firing.
Yeah, I was really proud of, start to finish. It's always good when you can come out with a win. So I'm extremely proud of our guys and, just everyone that traveled over. It's a great way to start the season, definitely with a win.
It was a good night in that first quarter. Ended up at the half 12-6, but that first quarter kind of found some things you didn't want to do, some things you did want to do. Talk about that. Talk about the adjustments as the game's progressing in that first half.
Yeah, I think for us, thank you. I think for us, it's a different year. Coach Shores and I at Brantley, we're good friends. We've coached against each other for a while. He was at Lowndes when I was at Valdosta, so we were familiar with each other. And one of the things we spoke about last weekend prior to our game was that when we first came out last year, it was my first game here and it was his first game there.
Right.
We hadn't played a preseason scrimmage. We didn't play a spring game, so we were virtually unknown, and there was a little bit known about them. I knew they would play harder. They've worked out with him and practiced with their staff for a year, so I knew it wouldn't be necessarily the same outcome. So I knew they would play extremely hard. And then they had a couple of really good players that we were, I won't say necessarily keying in on, but our senses were heightened as to where they were. And so, they changed up their offense. They're, extremely run-heavy offense, have a serviceable quarterback, and have a couple of athletes out wide. And then on defense, they fly around and they definitely hit you. So I was, just proud of how our guys prepared and then went out and executed. And like I say, there is no substitute for coming out with a win at the end of the game.
I know. Coming into that first game, with the spring game and summer practices and everything, it was nice to get on the field for when it counts, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I'll tell you, so much, the spring, the summer OTAs, and the fall scrimmage, that gets your team ready. But what it's become is everybody, shares everybody's film with each other. And so teams they're seeing you kind of progress from the spring on, and they know what you do. So you're fooling yourself if you go into a game, the first game of the season,
right,
thinking that another team hadn't got film on you and they don't know what you do. So we knew that they would, have a decent idea of where we were. And for me, it's always about what we're doing and not necessarily what the other team is doing. And probably most of all coaches feel that way. If we execute and do what we're supposed to, our chances of being successful go way, way up. And again, there's no substitute for having good players. So, again, I can't tell you amidst all the things that I think we can do better. The most important thing was at the end of the night, we won the game. So.
Right. I thought for the first game, too, the crowd, the Road Warriors, they always show up. They had those stands behind y'all packed out, Coach. It was a good crowd.
I'm a little bit jealous. Brantley it was the beneficiary of a really good crowd. So maybe I'll call Coach and see if he's willing to split that gate with us. They had a huge crowd there. Our side was packed. Their side was packed. There were people standing around. So just awesome atmosphere for those young men, and not just them, but the cheerleaders and then the bands on both sides. Just having people there to support you the first game of the season is always a good thing. But they definitely made out well on the gate.
It was a nice atmosphere. Nice atmosphere up there in Brantley County. And they were very good to see us in, as they always are. They always treat us real good. Parked us right up under the press box. We were good to go, so I was happy about that. Let's get back to football, Coach. First quarter, talk about that first drive going in for the touchdown.
For our kids, just having worked all off season, the spring, the summer, to be able to go out and execute and kind of start the year off, that's exactly what you want to be able to do. And then my thing, being a defensive guy, is let's go out and get the first stop and make them punt the ball.
Yeah.
And so that's not any special particular thing, but I want our kids on both sides, on all sides of the ball, offense, defense, and special teams, to go out and have the attitude and mentality of let's score the first drive or let's get a stop the first drive. It just gets you going a little bit.
Right.
And it's definitely not like the other feeling as to getting scored on or or getting stopped. So, I think our guys, they've just worked hard all off season, and they were, I guess, in that moment they were prepared.
I thought the defensive front too, with the after the opening kickoff, we turned the ball over, but the defense come in, like you said, make a big stand. That defensive front, I thought, really established themselves early in the game against the Herons.
Well, when you're running the type of offense that they are, and they're unique in the fact that they line down with, a tight end, 2 wings, and a fullback, old school flex bone. And then they can jump out and get into the spread. You're kind of preparing for both. So It really does present issues for you in terms of how you're going to prepare your kids, because the mindset is different when they spread it out versus when they pack it in. So, again, for everything that, you think about this, you get ready to play Berrien in the fall scrimmage, and you're really still installing and trying to put things together for yourself, and then you turn around and you play a game where everything's centrally focused on this opponent, but then you back up and say in the spring you're working on yourself, then you play a spring game, and the unique situation with that is we played a team out of Florida that got 20 practices and we only get 10. 9 of those are spent really trying to work on yourself and not so much an opponent. And then all summer we're strictly working on ourselves. And in between that, we go to a paddock camp at Valdosta, we go to a paddock camp at Coffee County and get really good work in against really, really good teams, all of which are, for the most part, bigger size schools than us. And so you just can't put a premium on the amount of reps that we got from the beginning of spring ball through the spring game against Union County, through both the OTAs and all the other summer practices in between, the fall scrimmage against Berrien, and then going out to play. We played a lot of football prior to last Friday night, so I'm just thankful for that.
It was a good thing on the way that first drive went, and coming into halftime, 12-6. Can you talk about that second touchdown a little bit?
Well, we were up 13-0 at halftime. They hadn't scored yet. So my mindset my mindset going into the half was, if we don't allow them to score again, then we win the game. But really at halftime, I don't say that making adjustments is overrated, but you got to go in and it's really a tale of two halves. If you're going in and you're doing really good, you want your kids to keep that confidence, but then at the same time you got to get them focused that we got to go out the second half and do the same thing.
Right.
And if you go in down, it's not necessarily a time to panic, as more so a sense of urgency that, guys, every possession matters. We're in attack mode coming out of the door, and I think in both instances you're attacking and you're trying to score and you're trying to stop them, but it is a different locker room. I mean, if no one's never been in the locker room, they wouldn't understand what I'm saying. But if you go in the locker room and you're up, everybody's spirits are up. And then sometimes you go in the locker room and you're up and you still aren't playing your best. And if you guys really, really care, they say, like, guys, we're going to go out here and do this the second half. But when you go in the locker room and you're down, our guys were really fired up at halftime about what we had done, but the attitude was we know we can go out and do more. We know we can go out and do better. And I think the thing that I'm always worried about, especially when you go up at the half, is making that critical error or mistake. And then the game kind of turned around. Basketball is really the game of momentum that I like to watch, because the team could be up 20 points, and then before you know it, it's back to being a ball game. Football is kind of It's that roller coaster. It's that slow ride up and down. Lows, isn't it? Yeah, and so you could literally be up and you make a mistake and you just come crashing down, and then before you know it, things change over. So that's one thing I'm always worried about when we're up at halftime is, where our focus is going to be coming out. So our kids handled it well, and like I say, it became a ball game. Look, I don't want to take anything away from them. They played really, really hard. But our kids came out, and we were fortunate enough to play harder and win the game.
It was definitely a good effort. And I love the way, like you said, you wanted to build on that momentum going in the second half. The guys looked like they were playing harder. They were definitely hitting harder. I have my favorite highlight from the other night, besides the TDs, was the hit stick.
Yeah.
I dubbed it the hit stick. I think he's responsible for that one.
Yeah, he is.
It was. Talk about that when you get a big hit like that, big play, touchdown. Amari running. I mean, he had 200+ yards the other night. Talk about all the momentum, how that builds up as the game progresses when these kids, it's like they feed off each other.
Yeah, I think the coach speak thing is to say, there are so many small things that make big things in the game. But
Right.
when you have guys that make big hits or score touchdowns, there's no substitute for being a productive player and showing up on film. And there's a lot of guys that aren't sitting in these guys' seats that had equal amount, like Amari goes and runs for all of those yards and is a productive player in terms of scoring. But he would tell you there are a lot of guys up there blocking and throwing themselves in the way of somebody to help free him up. So, it's the ultimate team sport. I mean, a guy has success, but, it's like the wideout that scores a bunch of touchdowns. Well, somebody's got to block so the quarterback can get the ball off. So,
Yeah.
I'll say this, during the course of the game, I, as a coach, probably don't enjoy those, momentum swings as much because you're always thinking about the next play. Like our guys will tell you, I probably care more about making sure we have 11 guys in the huddle to go out on a special team or on offense or defense.
Right.
And then when I go back on Saturday, of course, I'm really proud that Amari scored or Brandon had a big hit or Trey had a pick or we got Javion running down the field, and then I start thinking about what led up to the preparation, and then we have guys like Norman who stood out all week on the scout team, and so that I think about that stuff after the game because during the game it's like this. I mean, I can be happy about us hitting somebody hard, but that next play they're getting ready to line up and make a play. So really excited for the guys and their moments during the game, more so after the game, but I'm more excited for our entire team that we were fortunate to have done enough together to win the game.
When you go through that during the game process, and like you say, you're thinking about that next play, the previous play kind of dictates what you do on the next play also, though, right? I mean,
yeah, I think the game,
situational awareness.
Yeah, I think the game goes and flows. It's like teams that are predominantly running. The one thing they don't want to do is get down in the game because if they get down, they got to start throwing to get back into the game.
Right.
And it's the team that gets, down. When you're down in a game, it shifts your focus depending on how far you are down in the hole. It shifts your focus as to how much time do I got back, have on the clock. Do we have time to continue to do what we're doing and play defense and continue to gain possessions with what we do on defense and the special teams, or do we need to go in the hurry-up mode and it's like we got to go every play to try to score. So, there's definitely, give and take. One of the easiest things I think it is to do during a game is to watch the game and coach the game in hindsight. Like, it's easy to say, let's, we got to do this because I do it on Saturdays. Maybe we should have done that. It would have been easier for me to say if I was not necessarily looking down on it versus, hey, we got to do this. Now, I do know there are some things we need to do better all across the board. It's not all on the kids. We try to put them in position that we think is going to make us successful. And we've got a formula that we believe wins. And for our kids, the more we practice great habits, the more we train for success, the more successful we feel like we're going to be on Friday
night. It builds.
Night.
It keeps building.
It does.
It does, because you don't want to get lax. You don't want to get lax and say, okay, we won, we're good. You always want to build on that success and improve. Like Lamar in the big game, you want that offensive line to keep improving. Get him 300 yards next game.
He really wants that, right? He wants him to keep improving, as do all of our guys do. I think, for me, when I look at guys that have had great individual games, and you go back and you look at the story of how this play happened or what kind of set that up earlier? Did we do anything, early to try to set something up later? When guys or other teams watch our film, they're going to look and see these guys, and they're going to be aware. And I'm sure I would be, at least if I knew there was a guy that, that's going to hit you hard. You identify him, and your other guys know now. Kids are different now that sometimes they got to find out before they know. And I love that we've got Brandon on our team. I love we've got all of our guys on our team that do their little individual parts. So I think it does go back to just how hard they play in that moment to have made those plays. And like I said, when I go back Saturday, it's watching the game. I'm super proud of them for have done what they've done in that individual moment. And And the more of those we can put together in the game, the more successful we feel like we're going to be. So,
when as the game was progressing, I noticed, at least from the press box, it seemed like there was a little bit of a shift, but it's still a good mix from the pass to the run. Was that something that you were just taking from Brantley as the game was progressing, or is that just a misconception on my part? Was it a pretty balanced, mixed up offense?
Yeah. So we've got a mixture of age groups on our offensive line and defensive lines, and so we want to give those guys confidence, but we also want to take what people are giving us, or gifting us rather.
Right.
But we're going to always develop those guys up front so that when we need them either run or pass, that they can do both. Excited about the growth of a lot of our guys, not just on the lines of scrimmage, but I'm excited about their growth from the spring till now. And I've continued to say that about this team. You know, we don't do everything right. We're not perfect in any way, stretch of the imagination, but they find a way to get better at something each and every day.
Right.
And so I'm excited about that. And the old football term is that you get better, you make your most improvement between game 1 and game 2. And, you know, I take that to heart because, you know, when you do get to a certain part of the season, you know, especially at this level, you're trying to maintain your health because nobody's got a bunch of people on the team, and you're trying to hone in on the fundamentals. Right now is the time that, hey, if you need to get in better shape, we better run more. I mean, we're going to get to a point of the season where attrition sets in for everybody, where everybody's going to be tired. Everybody's, you know, not going to be feeling the best every day. There may be a guy that gets sick the day before the game, or a guy that gets hurt in the game. And so I am like this. We have a really tough non-region schedule, and I want to get as many of our kids game reps as possible because you can do all the practice you want, but there's no substitute for what a game does for you, what being under those lights on a Friday night in front of a crowd on both sides, where it's really, really important, where it's really competitive. There's no premium you can put on that. And like I say, we know our personnel, and so when we look and evaluate as to what we think is going to make us successful, it all starts, you know, out here at practice and what we do at practice and what we feel comfortable that we're going to do on Friday. I think the worst thing you can do is to force yourself to do something on Friday that you hadn't attempted to do or something that you hadn't done well throughout the week. It doesn't maximize, because if you've seen it live, hey, this probably ain't going to work, you better probably stay away from it on Friday because it's something that you do. It isn't something the other team's going to be doing. It's something you're going to be doing to yourself. Yeah. And that's all the way across the board. We need to play into our strengths. If that means we need to line up in a certain set, or on defense we need to do a certain thing, or in the special teams we need to do something that specifically caters to us, and the other team may know and they may be picking up on it, but it's the best that we can do, we better stick to our strengths and continue to build and get better and variate off of that. So,
all right. Let's shift gears a little bit. I'll just check on my laptop. Let's shift gears a little bit. We've talked a lot about the offense. Talk about the defense, Tim. The Brantley County quarterback, number 12, he had a cannon, but your secondary seemed pretty prepared for that. I think we had 3 picks Friday night. So, I mean, and solid coverage. They never really broke away, got away from you guys at all. Talk about the coverage in the defensive line and the secondary for the Indians Friday night.
Yeah, well, I think it really does take, you know, on defense, you got to rally. One of my old college defensive coordinators used to say, you know, the distance that you are away from the ball determines your worth to the defense. If you're far away from the ball, you're not a guy that's effective in football. So we really do like for our kids to rally around the ball, you know, to play together on defense, to communicate. I think the most important thing we can do outside of tackling, getting off blocks and tackling, is pre-snap, before the ball snaps, is for everybody on the field to know what we're doing. Even if it means that the other team knows what we're doing, we better know what we're doing, and all 11 people work together as one. So I'm just proud of our kids. You know, it's a difficult thing week in and week out to see the I formation one week, to see the wishbone another week, to see the flex bone, to see the spread, to see a team that does, that attempts to try to do both of them. I mean, it's really something to bring your kids in on Monday and watch the previous game and then install, hey, here's what this new team does, and, this is how we're going to, attempt to defend it. And then on offense, it's to prepare for different fronts. Everything's not the same. Every team that's, runs a 4-down front doesn't do the same things. I can tell you the team coming in here on Friday is super aggressive, and they get after you, and they've been in the top echelon of, Division II, single A Division II defense. So definitely presents a different set of issues this week that last week didn't. But it's like, it's like writing a book. And I've got all this ink and all this from writing stuff at practice, but it's, every week's a different chapter. Not every chapter's the same. Every chapter has its unique story to tell, and so I think that's the fun part. And, in hindsight, looking at it for me as a coach, what you did one week's probably not what you're going to do completely in total the next week because you're playing somebody different.
All right. Hey, I got to tell you, I know your forte is defensive line. Somebody attending Valdosta State sent me a picture of you when you played at Valdosta State, defensive lineman. I wanted to share it, but I figured I better ask you first.
Yeah, I don't even remember those days. Yeah, I don't remember those.
You don't remember that? You don't remember those days, Coach?
No,
All right,
I did.
We'll leave that one alone then.
Yeah.
I just remember that just came to me. Somebody sent it to me Friday night during the game.
Wow.
So, yeah, I thought that was pretty awesome.
What that had to do with anything going on in Nahunta, I'll never understand.
I didn't put it on the air. I wasn't going to do that to you without your permission.
Well, I think Omar probably better be glad I didn't play Friday because he might have had 2 or 3 yards. You didn't catch that? Had I played Friday, you might have only had a couple yards. No? You still had the same thing? More? Oh, okay. All right.
Folks, he's talking to Amari off camera.
Yeah, I'm talking to our running back. Yep.
Speaking of those guys, we're not ready for that yet, though, are we?
We are.
Are we ready for that?
Yep,
We'll go to a break?
Yep.
Okay, we'll go to a break. Then we got a special treat for you folks at home. We've got some players of the game, correct?
Yes, sir.
Players of the game coming up next. You're watching the Coach Jones Show on CSN. We'll be back right after this.
After the break. When he breaks it, you can come on.
So, tell us, how long have you known?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Then why don't you explain this, Mark? Found this in your house.
You ignored it, didn't you? I thought I had more time.
Really, Mark? Does this look like you had more time? You know what you should have done, right?
I should have called True Force.
Well, now you can.
Ignoring the signs won't make the problem go away. Call True Force Roofing today.
In your time of need, give Rob Robertson a call at 912-496-7388. Shepherd Robertson Funeral Home says go Indians.
AGM Packaging Corporation is one of America's leading manufacturers of sustainably sourced and produced disposable paper products, including paper plates, cups, bowls, and bags. AGM is a family-owned business that was founded in 1957, and our family values are still present today across all locations. We are currently growing and have several career opportunities that offer competitive compensation, advancement opportunities, and employer-paid benefits. Please apply at agmpack.com/careers or come to our facility at 569 Bowery Lane in Folkestone to fill out an application today. We look forward to meeting and greeting you at our facility.
ESP Specialist in Fabrication is located at 169 Little Phoebe Church Road in Folkestone, Georgia. President Mark Pickering and his employees utilize the latest technology with a skilled workforce to supply customers with the best custom fabrication possible. Serving clients at home and abroad makes ESP a premier employer in Charlton County. For all your specialty and fabrication needs, contact ESP at 912-496-2583 today. They're also on Facebook at ESP Specialist Fabrication. ESP is a proud sponsor of Charlton Sportsnet.
Charlton Electric, serving Charlton and surrounding counties with over 20 years experience. We're back, Coach. You're on.
Okay. All right.
You're on.
Oh, I got it? Okay. All right. So, fans, something new that we're going to do this year on the Coach Jones Show is bring our players of the game on. First guy I want to recognize is not here with us. He attends church, attends Bible study on Wednesdays. Is one of our scout team players of the week. It's Travis Daniels. Travis gives unbelievable effort. He's been giving unbelievable effort since he started with us as an 8th grader in the spring. So, Travis, I hope you're able to watch this at some point and know that we gave you the recognition. I'm extremely proud of you. Our coaches, your teammates are extremely proud and thankful of the work that you do each and every day, getting us a look. And I'll tell you, Indian fans, Travis Daniels is going to be a name to know here in the near future because the kid works extremely hard, works his tail off, and is an excellent teammate. The other scout team player that we have with us this week, he probably ain't going to want me to call his nickname out. He's super nervous to be up here, but one of our tight ends, number 87, Norman Blake. Norman was also one of the scout team players of the week last week. And so, Norman, just kind of talk about, the look that you gave us and how was it experiencing your first high school football game? Norman's a little nervous. Okay, let's start here, Norman. Tell us about practice last week. How about practice last week?
It was great, getting to experience the first game, It was a little tough going on as like a scout player, but, got it done. Made sure we get our varsity players a look,
So I'll say this about Norman too. Norman prepares himself at practice with the varsity reps that he gets, just as if he's going to be the starter on Friday, and that's a really good mindset to have because as his body continues to grow, I will tell you for all the folks in our region, this type of effort, these types of practice players, these type of young players that have the attitude that, Coach, I'll be on every special team. Coach, I want to learn what we're doing on offense. I want to learn what we're doing on defense. These are the types of kids that at this level, by the time we get to region, because they've stolen X number of snaps throughout the game, they're ready to jump in and region. So I'm so proud of Norman. Talk to me about, or talk to us rather, about how it felt your first high school football game. I know you've been to a bunch of high school football games, but how was it running out, being on the sideline, How was the entire experience from the time we got there to the end of the game?
It was great, like running out with the team, having a good time. It was great during the first quarter. Throughout it got hard, but we kept pushing. Got it done.
So, all right. Well, proud of you, Norman. Keep it up. Hope to continue your work at practice and, hope to have you back up here at some point. The next player that I have up here to recognize for his outstanding efforts is number 23, Javion Lambert. Javion is a extremely good, just an all-around versatile player at practice for us. Now, Javion, don't let his size fool you. Javion can do some of everything. He can play on the defensive line. He can play in the offensive backfield. He just does what you ask him to do, and he does it a million miles an hour. And the reason he is the special teams player of the week is because he just gives great effort. Whatever we ask him to do, even if it's not something that he's accustomed to doing, if we ask him to do it, we tell him what we need him to do, show him how to do it, he knows one speed just to go. So he will be another player that as the weeks progress, you'll continue to see out on the field and playing a role for us. But congratulations to you, Javion. Kind of talk to us about your role on the special teams and how you felt throughout the game.
I felt great. I felt great going out with the team because it felt.
Okay, so let's pretend it's just me and you talking. So how did you feel at the game?
It felt great. It felt like last year going to play Brentley again.
Okay. So talk to us. I know on the kickoff you were the first down. What goes into the mentality that you have to have, when you're getting ready to run down the field? What's something you think about it, or if you think about anything at all, do you just go walk me through your thought process?
I just go as soon as I see him starting to run. I intro, and as soon as I see him kick the ball, I started flying down the field, watching where the ball lands, and getting to there at full speed.
Okay, well, I will say this. You know, he would be somebody when you see out on the field to definitely watch. You know, he just consistently, but he does it at practice. He consistently finds a way to do something full speed, and so that you know, it's not necessarily a reward. The guy earned it. Gives great effort on special teams. He is performing, you know, about how we want you to effort-wise on special teams. So congratulations to you, and like I'm going to say to everybody, I hope you strive to be someone that somebody will want to select for this honor every week. Any last words for you? Any for you?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I know what to do if I want to keep y'all quiet. Just have you up and talk in front of people. So thank you. Thank y'all. Yes, sir. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we're getting ready to go to a break. When we come back, I believe we're going to have a highlight reel that'll play on these next guys, and we will have our defense, offense, and our Iron Indian overall player of the week right after this.
Both commercial and residential services. Our electricians can meet your needs. We offer installation on whole house generators, service upgrades for mobile home services, troubleshooting, ceiling fan and light fixtures, and much more. Call us today for an estimate, 912-496-4528. Celebrate 80 years with Folkestone Furniture. Join us as we mark 80 incredible years of comfort, quality, and community. Looking for the perfect outfit, gift, or accessory? Come experience The Crossings, a locally owned boutique that's been serving the heart of our community for 21 years. From timeless classics to the latest trends, you'll find hand-picked styles and one-of-a-kind treasures that make every visit special.
Hey Indians fans, are you looking for a better banking experience? At Georgia's Own Credit Union, our goal is to save you money. We'll help you level up your game with better rates, lower fees, and easy access to your funds. With 29 branches and a network of over 30,000 ATMs, we're never far away. Best of all, we support the people, places, and teams that make Georgia great. Stop by our local office at 3773 2nd Street South in Folkestone. To learn more about Georgia's Own, visit
All right, welcome back, everybody. We are here with our offensive and defensive players of the game for last week against Brantley County. First young man I'm going to bring on here is number 4, Trey Jones. Trey had a couple tackles throughout the game, but affected the game in a really good way on both of the drives. When Brantley was going in to score, had a couple of key interceptions. So Trey, just kind of, walk us through, how you felt during the game and kind of the highs and lows of the game. Walk us through that.
First play of the game, caught the ball, ran a couple yards and fumbled. Just got back up, kept my head up, and defense came out and just had to keep going. Just had to keep my head up the whole game, and it was made me really play better. And I had to do what I had to do.
If you had to rank both of the individual plays, which one was your favorite one?
I'll probably say that the second interception would be my favorite one.
What made it your favorite one?
Stuck on my man, and the ball was just right there. I had to go ahead and get it.
I got you. Talk to me about, your teammates and, just the camaraderie on the team. Talk to me about some guys that you particularly close to, and just kind of what are your favorite moments throughout from the spring on up to now?
Our defense, we got pretty close over the summer. Want to thank Brandon, Khalil, Trevin, Jack, all the people that, really do their part to help the defense out and get offense back on the field.
Don't forget your D lineman.
Oh yeah, D lineman.
Do nothing. You don't miss
D lineman. They really get the job done, stopping the running back and all the runs.
All right. Well, any last minute thoughts? Anything you want to say about your performance last week?
I know I could do better.
Okay. All right. Well, I always enjoy this. Adam, I think you may just leave this set up, and anytime we got anything going, we bring them right in here and put them in front of the camera. They won't say anything. Next guy, really, really proud of. Had a really good summer and fall camp, and has just worked his tail off, and proud of his performance. I think he will tell you, had a lot of help, but he's has been a really, really good player for us. I know last year, one of the things that sticks out to me is, that he accounted for, well over close to half of our total offense, which is a lot. And so definitely happy to have him back this year. It's his senior year. He's working hard, trying to, continue to gain interest from college coaches and present himself with some opportunities past high school. And so just proud of how he started the season. Our offensive player of the week is Amari Wilson. So Amari, kind of talk to us about, preparation from last week leading on up into Friday, and just how you felt throughout the night, and anything else you kind of want to tell us about the game.
First of all, I just want to thank my O-line for blocking for me and stuff, and making sure I did what I needed to do during the games, during the ups and the downs. Carlisle, Jordan Hamilton, Bill Collin, Big J, Butter, Big Ben, all of them. I just want to thank y'all, and I love y'all. But during practice, we just always just communicate more in and out of the plays. We make sure we get the huddles right and everything. We just really communicate to each other, just knowing what everybody doing and all that. Oh yeah, one more line I forgot, Jay-Z. Yeah, forgot about Jay-Z.
I don't want you to make him mad. I think you want a guy that size.
Yeah, I need Jay-Z. Forgot about my dog.
So tell us, just about preparation through the spring, through the summer, up until now. I know it can be, a grind. I know every day is not fun, but just talk to us about, this team and, how you felt about, everything thus far.
From spring until now, I feel like we got way better. It was a lot of 8th graders coming up around springtime, and I feel like they was kind of nervous, but now they getting the hang of it. What we did over the summer was we just worked on our speed, agility, worked on ball security, and we really just got into it in the weight room, man. We really got improved over the time from since spring until now.
All right. Well, proud of both of you guys. Thank you for, working and continuing to be good teammates and good young men around the school. Is there any last thoughts about, this week that either one of you want to share? Anybody at home? It's your time. Anybody at home you want to shout out? You want to say thank you to?
I want to thank you to the quarterback club and all the fans that do the tailgate, get our food, hydration. I just want to say thank y'all, and it really means a lot to the seniors and the whole football team.
I just want to thank everybody that's come and support.
All right. Yes, sir. Yep, that's fine. Oh, I got you. I'm not used to doing that.
GeorgiaZone.org. GeorgiaZone is federally insured by the NCUA.
Allen Aldridge Insurance, located in Kingsland, Georgia, is proud to serve the communities of Charlton and Camden counties. offering life, home, car, and business insurance. See Andy Gowan today for your insurance needs. Phone 912-729-7600 for more information. Protecting you is what we do. Gowan Aldridge Insurance is a proud sponsor of the Charlton Sports Network.
Your next adventure starts here
at Walker Jones GMC. Summertime. The kids are out of school and into everything. Family vacations and outings, fishing and swimming. And let's not forget, it's also the busy season at work. Good thing summer is the season of savings at Walker Jones GMC. Big savings on used cars, too.
We got it all. Why shop anywhere else?
GMC, we are professional grade. Walker Jones GMC. Memorial Drive in Waycross and online at walkerjonesgmc.com. Supply to income sales at 7/30/125.
For nearly 20 years, Georgia's electric membership cooperatives have made Friday night football electrifying. As the official energy provider of the GHSA, Georgia's EMCs are proud to support high school athletics in the communities we serve, standing behind every hike, every completed pass, and every team celebration. Because we know that today's high school athletes are tomorrow's local leaders. Georgia's EMCs.
No,
Don't do it.
welcome back. I am so excited to have the final player of the game with us. This is something new that we're doing this year. This is our Iron Indian player of the game. This is an award that that is so very important when you play a program where most of you guys are playing both ways. I think it would be an injustice not to honor somebody that has kind of done it on both sides of the ball. This week's Iron Indian, had several big hits, one that's noticeable and that's kind of being shared right now. Very productive, scored a touchdown on offense, but overall just, does it all. And the reason I'm really extremely proud for this young man is this started way back in the spring. He's hit it hard in the weight room, had a really good season in track, was a state qualifier, and has just worked his tail off throughout the summer. He's known by, he's known by a lot of different names. I think everybody just calls him Speedy B. But Brandon Willett. Brandon, so extremely proud of you, and happy that you're on our team and that you just did what I knew you could do. Nothing that you do surprises me. I think that you probably are going to try to work to try to surprise me. Maybe you'll come out of the game and have a 40-inch vert or something like that. But nothing you do surprises you. You work extremely hard every day. And I will say this, to any school that's out there looking, this young man can flat out play football. He deserves a chance at the next level. I hear you about all the measurables and all that kind of stuff, but there's no, premium you can place on what's in this young man's chest that's ticking. He just works extremely hard. He's an awesome young man, and we're going to continue to fight and do everything we can to make sure that we, find a home for you at the next level, because you are, you're a program builder. So proud of you, proud of what you did Friday night, and I know, Lord's willing, you're just going to continue to do what you do. So, Brandon, how did you feel about the game Friday?
I was proud of everybody as a team. Everybody came together. As I could see, first half, we started off, it was a little iffy. We just getting started, first game of the season. Coaches had to talk with us at halftime, and that second half, it was just like we all clicked in together as a team, and we just dominated.
Adam, do you have anything?
Yes, sir. I want to talk about the hit. I got to talk about the hit. Let me tell you, my phone was blowing up after I replayed that hit about 3 times during the game. My phone was blowing up. Everybody wants to talk about the hit. When you come around the corner, the official is literally in front of you, almost acted like a screen for the receiver. Talk about that, how your vision was blocked for just a moment and you still pick up that receiver. And tag him right by the official.
It was really just all about timing. My eyes was locked on my receiver. As I seen the ball coming in, it was just timing. Just can't hit him too early, but gotta make sure I hit that tackle. But just all about timing.
It was all just reaction from so many years of practice and
yes, sir,
going through the motions and everything. That was just football play.
Yes, sir.
Football play. You don't see many football plays anymore. You usually get penalized for those things. So it's nice, especially with the official right there. It's nice to see him let a football play be just that.
It happened so fast, he may not have seen it. I know that I heard it, and then I heard the crowd.
Yeah.
But Brandon's been striking folks since way before I got here, and he's done it, in practice, and half the time he'll know. Now he's gotten old enough to know at practice you probably save those hits, but that he didn't do anything that we hadn't been accustomed to seeing him do. So that was just a really, really neat play. And then the touchdown throw by AJ to Brandon in the end zone was, one I remember. We really needed that momentum. Kind of felt like the game was, kind of going back and forth. I think they had just scored, and then we come down the field, and if I'm not mistaken, it was 4th down. And we called a timeout before and get in the huddle, and AJ delivered the ball. The offensive line blocked. It was just a really good catch by Brandon. So again, not only does he play both ways, but he affected the game in a positive way, productivity-wise on both sides of the ball. So extremely happy for him, happy for his family. I know he always has a pretty good following of kinfolk at the game. So I know everybody was super excited for you. Talk about that, Brandon. What did it mean to to have your family, your friends, have your teammates there to celebrate you? I know when you had the big hit, I don't know who was more excited, if it was the big hit or if it was the touchdown that he caught. But just kind of talk about what it's like to have all of the folks supporting you.
Honestly, it's great having all my friends, my teammates, my family, everybody that I know for my whole life being there just to support me. And every time I do something good, my teammates, my brothers, they're always there to hype me up, and it just keeps me going throughout the game.
Well, you got a certificate this week. All of the players of the week got a certificate, but you had a special certificate that is being sponsored, that is sponsoring our Iron Indian of the Week. Talk about where did you get the certificate from?
Talking about the little coupon? Mm-hmm. I got it from the Okefenokee restaurant.
So we definitely want to thank Okefenokee for sponsoring, this player of the game. And I know Brandon's probably going to put that to good use at some point. So if you take your friends with you, you got the coupon, but they're going to have to pay. So thank you to everyone at Okefenokee for sponsoring that. We've also got some other folks, Friendly Express. I will have at our next coaches show, I'll get a good list of folks that are supporting the program where I can recognize them weekly for all the stuff that they're doing, the various families that come in and feed. And I know it's just a small token, but, for Brandon, it's good. Right. When he's driving around, he may be hungry and say, oh, I got this coupon, let me go redeem. Because I didn't know that our players had a daily tradition that no matter what we feed them, they're going to go out and get them another meal. And I happened to show up one day and was the beneficiary of paying for them. But I am just extremely happy for you and proud for you. Awesome young man each and every day. Comes to work, comes to school, does his work, works hard in the weight room, pays attention to detail in the film room. Just a really good teammate. It's kind of like a throwback player.
Yeah.
And so, Brandon, I'm extremely proud for you. Before we kind of segment, I think we had a couple of young men that may have forgot to mention somebody that they don't want to get in trouble. So I'll bring Amari up, and I know
Won't
Amari
jump in here.
had.
Congratulations, Brandon.
Just saying.
Yes.
I missed a lot of people. I want to thank Elijah Bryant. He'll be back this week, so I know I'm gonna need him. Tim, Trevin Cobb, Christian Brown, Woody, Gabe Hewlin.
Look at me, I didn't block for you.
Hunter Bradley, and that's probably it. But thank y'all, love y'all.
All right, man. Hey, Mark, real quick before you go. We talked about Brandon and the hit stick. I want to talk about your run that I used in the highlight reel. I think it's from around about the 25, 30-yard line, Coach.
Yeah,
breaks around the right side on Brantley's sideline. You broke like 3 tackles. Offensive line obviously opened up that edge for you. But then you come around and you're breaking tackles by yourself. Then you pick up that escort going down the sideline. Can you talk about that run real quick?
Yeah, we can. The run, it was really Brandon blocked for me and Trey. Trey got the hit at like the 10-yard line for me. When it's just me by myself, I can't be stopped. I mean, the one person can't not just about to bring me down. So I mean, why not?
It just comes natural.
Yeah, it just comes natural.
There you go, man. There you go. That's what recruiters want to hear, Coach. The next
what,
level.
That is right.
That's right.
Yeah, Amari likes to hear that too, don't you? Amari? He likes that. Likes that good.
Appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, Coach. Were you?
It's good. Yeah.
Congratulations. Congratulations. All right, Coach. Before we head out, number 2, Amari Wilson. Number 3, Brandon Wooler, and number 4, Trey Jones. Right, players of the game.
Yep. And then number 23, Javion Lambert, special teams player of the game.
All right, congratulations, fellas. Appreciate it. Coach, MCA Friday night, kickoff 7:30. Ticket sales, GoFan, correct?
Yes, sir.
No cash at the gate.
No, sir.
No cash at the gate. Anything else you need to hit on?
Yeah, I would just, I going into this game, this is one that I knew would be one to watch. This game Friday will be a good high school football game to watch. Got the utmost respect for Coach Warren at McIntosh and his staff, and they've got some really good-looking players. As you know, most of our guys run track in the offseason. So, I think we got the chance to see these guys twice during the regular track season and then at the state meet. And they got some guys who can run. They got some really big, good-looking football players. And so,
right.
And then they're physical on offense. They're physical on defense. Coach Warren always has them ready to play. So this will be, a good high school football game Friday. So looking forward to the challenge for us. Obviously competitive situation. We want to win. Our guys, want to continue on, this journey that is the regular season of football. Because football, this thing's done in spurts. You got the preseason, you got the dog days of camp, and then you got the non-region schedule, and then everyone knows about Region 2. In the state of Georgia.
That's a whole nother playoff.
Yes, a whole nother, and every week's a playoff game. So you really use these games to not necessarily measure where you are, but to continue to get better.
It's progression.
It is. And that's really the best way to put it. But I'll tell you, to all my coaches, to our admin, our community, our quarterback club, our Field in the Tribe, our nutrition group that does so much for us each and every day, to my wife and my daughter, my parents, my older brother, just my family in general. I could not be who I am to so many and do what I do without their love and support. I appreciate you and Sammy.
We appreciate you for giving us the access.
Everything that you guys do. I don't think that our kids will really realize how great of an impact these moments are on the rest of their lives until they get older, and all you have is those memories. And so for me, getting to enjoy my family out here when I'm in the middle of my element and what I do, it's so special to me. We played the game against Brantley on Friday, and then Saturday morning at 10 o'clock, I was at Chuck E. Cheese because my daughter had her 3rd birthday. And so, I shed some tears on Saturday. Folks that really get close to me know I love my family. And my wife just does a tremendous job. Terry, I love you so much. And my daughter, Taylor, they just bring me so much joy in the midst of the ups and downs that is the football season. And then, my dad coached for close to 30 years in the state of Florida. And my mom, who's, really my rock. She's my quiet storm. She can get me together just like that. And then my older brother, who's been my A1 since day one. I will never not give them their just due because somebody helps us get to these points. And that's what I will say about all of our young men. That's why I wanted to add this segment. They have families who come and are here to support them each and every, not just Fridays, but that are there to support them each and every day to make sure that they're up in the morning, that they come to school, that they do their very best and come out here and support them through something that they love. So I just thank everybody for the support. And, we're going to continue to get better and try to stay as healthy as we can and play the game in progression. Like you said,
well, that's why I formed CSN way back when, 2011, was to get these guys noticed. Not just the football guys, because I know they have the huddle and the other stuff too, but the baseball, basketball, all the other stuff as well. So I think that goes to it a lot too.
I will say this, for you to have started that way back when with that vision it definitely is doing it. And I can't tell you enough how much I appreciate the job that you do.
I appreciate
Really
you,
do.
Coach.
Thank
Appreciate you. Anything else we got to hit on?
I'm good.
All right, we'll see y'all Friday night right here in the swamp at Champ Bailey. Pack the place out. No excuses. Let's get it done, Coach.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank y'all for watching the Coach Jones Show. We'll see y'all Friday night.
Good. Yes, sir.